For years, Trevor Duncan believed he was dying. He was prepared for the remainder of his life, sleeping at the Lighthouse Shelter on 2nd Street.
He had originally diagnosed me with ALS, and I was like, oh, no. One day I was in the hospital, and he comes in, he says, yeah, you've got about a 3.5 centimeter stroke in your brainstem. And I was like, huh? And he goes, yeah, you don't have ALS. You had a stroke about 3 years ago.
That one sentence changed everything. No longer a death sentence, but a challenge.
Finding it wasn't ALS was like a second chance in life to have the thought process of like, oh, I can heal, and that was something unique.
Today, Trevor lives at Cleveland Commons, Central Oregon's first permanent supportive housing complex for the chronically unhoused. Here, rent is just 30% of a person's income.
Home sweet home.
Care workers and caregivers are on site daily. For Trevor, that makes all the difference.
This is an apartment complex, basically. They have their own apartments, they have their own space.
To move from being unhoused and all of what that carries to shifting into what it feels like to be a tenant, to have those rights as a tenant.
Having access to a kitchen, having access to a full refrigerator where they can store fresh food, not canned goods, so they're able to make their own meals. We have people on insulin, and they've been able to drop the amount of insulin they're on because they're eating better.
I have to say here, it's like $1 million view.
Trevor went from a tent to a shelter to a place to call his own. And with that stability came motivation.
I wake up in $1 million worth of environment than I did before. I was just used to like a little cot, in the corner. that was my life.
And that life, for a long time, included sitting near Central Safeway, holding a sign, hoping to make enough to get through the day.
So this was your sign?
Yeah, oh yeah. That's the most recent one. I've gone through about 10.
And looking at this sign today, you're in a different part of your life now. What does this represent?
It represents a retirement. I go out there more just to run into the good people of Bend, Oregon that I got to get to know.
He still remembers the cruelty, the stares, the yelling, but he also remembers the humanity. And that is what pushes him forward.
I've had people scream at me, yell at me out of their cars, walk up and just stick their finger and just go off, and you just have to greet them with a smile because you're just like, okay.
Now in physical therapy, he's working toward walking again. Trevor's even begun to dream again of working and helping others.
How do you view your future now, today, looking into the years that you have ahead of you?
I sit and fantasize sometime about being like a standing counselor for a shelter, just to help because I got the help. I wanted to give it back.
One of the great things about Trevor is, he keeps moving forward. He keeps his eye on the prize.
It's just been really great seeing him progress.
And with the support he's never had before, Trevor is finally starting to feel like himself again.
When I first met Trevor, he would have never wanted to talk about what it would be like to maybe work at the movie place, or what it would be like to send a video of his apartment to his dad in Florida. That says a lot about what it feels like to be safe, what it feels like to be loved.
But this story of recovery isn't just physical. It's about dignity.
Everybody needs a chance for the healing course of it. If I didn't have this chance and I didn't have this option to take in, whoa, it's getting better, I wouldn't feel like it could get better.
And what once looked like the final chapter is now this new beginning. In Bend, Peyton Thomas, Central Oregon Daily News.